Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Joining me today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
Drinking gasoline.
Yep. Something like that.
Looks delicious.
Cade's cocktail.
Not so
and
much.
we have a guest today, GernaderJake. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome. On today's show, we're actually going to be talking about all the updates from Bungie, what we think about the PC version, and Season 2 of Destiny 2. But first, let's talk about some of the news from the weekly update. So, Bungie's Christopher Barrett has responded to fan concerns about Destiny 2's Endgame and what they plan to do moving forward. First off, new systems and rewards for players like myself, including optional pursuits, are on the way. There will be more incentives for prestige activities like the Nightfall and Raid. There will be new rewards and replay value for strikes, adventures, and lost sectors. And in the PvP realm, private matches are coming back, and they are targeting early 2018 for release, and they will tune modes like Supremacy to have better scoring and spawn rules. Thank goodness. Hopefully that means no more dying the second you spawn. Other improvements for special events like the Iron Banner and faction rallies will be implemented, which promise unique rewards. The mod economy will become, quote, more interesting and impactful, and thankfully they will work on exotics, including adjustments that will reduce instances of duplication. Finally, they also spoke about new ways to spend your currency and materials like legendary shards and multiple emote interfaces that will allow you to have more than one at a time. There's more on the way, he said, but for the time being, I'll just say thank you for listening. I'm sure we'll have more feedback in the near future. Okay. So where do you guys want to start? Do you want to talk about the PC version first, or do you want to talk about the fact that Bungie released that statement talking about how they're listening?
I say the statements, the changes that
for
are
sure.
Okay.
Duplicates, you know? I think you might have got through to them.
4 sunshots on PC. It's the only weapon exotic I can
Exactly.
yeah, so how many duplicates have you guys got?
A lot.
Yeah.
Jake?
It never ends. You keep getting the same stuff. Week 1 was really bad. It's like if you had any kind of exotic on, you were almost guaranteed to get that same thing, or at least the same type of thing.
You thought you came up with the system.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you...
Yeah.
I did. It got patched like week 1, man. I did come up with
You
a
think
system.
it was real?
Oh, it was real.
It seemed to be. I took off my exotics.
I did it.
Yeah, it was like 9 out of 10 times it worked, legitimately. And there's like, what, 3 guns and 4 armor pieces you can get out of exotics. So 1 in 7 chance you're going to get the same type of thing. And it happened 9 out of 10 times. And you can do the math and kind of figure out, like, this doesn't really make any sense here.
Yeah. I've been playing on PC, and I'm like, I need to go to Vegas because the odds of me randomly getting 4 sunshots in a row.
Yeah. But I'm
going to hit that jackpot.
Yeah, I mean, duplicates are a big problem. I mean, maybe a good way to put it is out of all that they're now talking about fixing, and we don't know how yet, what strikes you as the biggest issues? And out of this, what are you excited that they seem to be addressing?
I mean, it's all kind of broad. It's hard to know exactly what they mean when they say certain things. Like, they're going to make it so there's tuning with the mods and how they work. They're going to change it up in PvP and tune things in there a little bit. They don't quite specifically tell you. So I'm most intrigued by that stuff. I'm most intrigued by what exactly do they mean by this mod tuning? What is it going to do? How are they going to make it more impactful? Because the sky's the limit there. Yeah, I mean, they can make it so there's so much customization that you have on your Guardian with mods and make it really exciting for PvP if they do it right.
Mods
What do you
are
wanna-
sort of interesting right now, but I think it would be really cool if they add that to guns, because I don't think that slot's going to go away to apply the modifier, but maybe they add different kinds and get rid of the blues maybe or something, because it's kind of confusing and muddled right now. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was really like out of all that, not knowing what it is, what do you want to see out of sort of these categories that they're touching on? Like, are you most focused on the emote slots? Or, you know,
man,
what
that
is it?
Ramen stir, I love it.
Yeah.
Don't break trials again.
That's a good one for sure. Out of everything, I'm most disappointed, honestly, that they don't mention anything about ranks. And we could talk about this for hours, so I'm going to be careful kind of stepping into it right now. But man, that was the thing that I was really hoping they would pick up on, the community wanted. And was
Like
really
leaderboard
hoping to
ranks?
see. No, more like, so let's go. I mean, a lot of us have played Halo. Let's step back to Halo 2 and 3. They had it perfect. Halo 3 specifically, they had ranked, they had social. Social was for when you wanted to mess around, maybe have a beer, play with a friend of yours, not really care about winning. You know, you could drive on a mongoose with them on the back trying to snipe. Like the whole idea, you want to have fun. That's the whole reason you're playing. Then they had ranked, where you try to get to level 50. It was kind of a thing you could brag about, right? Like, I'm ranked 42 in Team Slayer. Your friend's like, I'm only 39. And like, it's kind of a bragging point, something to strive for, an incentive to improve, and also really exciting for YouTube, Twitch, whatever it might be, people watching those trying to acquire that max rank.
Yeah.
It's so exciting and allows for that diversity of wanting to have fun with friends, wanting to take it seriously.
But Jake, what about the emblem you could maybe unlock that shows sort of your KD, but not really?
Oh, wow. The emblem that I've opened 25 packages for and still not gotten.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that emblem. I would have loved to show that emblem off, but too bad I still don't have it.
That is a good
that's
point.
definitely an
Yeah,
issue.
it's funny how you go back to Halo 3 because that's what I love now. There's been a bunch of iterations since, like Halo 5 and Reach and all that stuff. But Halo 3 and the 1 to 50 ranking and just having it displayed publicly and for competitive matchmaking too, that's what I love. It was that grind to just keep going and get to the next level. So it's interesting to hear you mention that.
And you couldn't prestige in Halo 3 or anything.
No, that's a Call of Duty deal.
thing. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. We haven't talked about that as much on the show, but I love that idea, actually.
Yeah.
You know, because actually in Call of Duty, I think it works. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
And then you get it also prestiging and like how much you've played.
Well, hold
That's
up.
a good point.
I do not want them to adapt the Call of Duty model to Destiny. I don't want every game to be Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
definitely don't want that.
I think
But-
that's, something to avoid.
But the leveling system from Halo 3, I really enjoyed that. You kind of knew where you would lie, like within the player base. Like I was 20 to 30, like somewhere in there. I never got into the higher ranks because I just wasn't that good.
50,
I can admit
50.
it. I'm
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
100%. Yeah.
CJ's all right.
Doubles and Rumble. And
Yeah.
and where are those? Like, where is Rumble? Where is doubles? I hope they bring some of those back.
Yeah,
It's cool to see
private
the
matches.
Private matches, yeah. So hopefully that gets, because the private matches even still was not really that fleshed out in Destiny 1.
Right.
A lot of that stuff was, no special. There was a few special ammo tweaks, but like you couldn't tweak like the game modes or position of things and all that other stuff. So hopefully it's a little bit more in depth of a private matches situation.
I'll tell you guys what I was really excited by. Better rewards and replay value for strikes, adventures, and lost sectors. That's something we've been talking about since the launch of the game. It's just like, why am I going to do the adventures? Like I'm leveled way past them. There's no reason for me to go back unless you want the narrative, of course.
Yeah.
But like incentivize me to do those things, and also the prestige incentivizations for
Yeah.
Nightfall and Raid. I mean, that was the biggest miss for me. They launched Prestige. I haven't played it. I have no interest.
I actually
in
didn't do
I
it.
haven't
Yeah.
either.
Why?
No,
None of
me
us
neither.
have.
You haven't.
Yeah.
That
No.
says something,
I
man.
know.
I
none
haven't
I played
either.
the intro and we got the gauntlet with a random team, and I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna get it. I don't care. Like I wasn't mad or anything. I just like I don't expect us to beat them.
I heard there was a new dog or something and a couple of this.
Two new dogs.
Yeah,
two.
they
And
added
I'm
some
like,
dogs.
okay, that's cool. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, no incentive in UI. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see any reason to. I mean, exactly what we're talking about with the incentivizing it. There was no reason to. I watched people do it for an hour or two at the very beginning, the world's first race, and I watched it happen, and I was like, if they don't get something cool, which no one did, what's the point?
Hey, do you want to bang your head against the wall for an hour? What do I get for it? Absolutely nothing. No, I'm good.
no,
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll skip.
So wait, you do? Don't you get like some more tokens or something?
Oh.
You
Canadian
get a
center.
shader. You get a shader.
You have the potential to get a shader.
And you get it for doing the opening. I got 4 of them.
Yeah,
for
and
doing the
emblems, I
opening.
think. So,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
would
you
you
gotta-
want to play that for more
Yep.
tokens? Seriously?
I
Just
am-
play the regular raid.
I'm kind of shocked after how well they were doing with Destiny 1's raids and like
Yeah.
reward system, and how like every sequence had a drop.
Yeah.
Like, man, that had me coming back. On the back of this sheet, I was telling Jake about it before the show. I have a checklist of armor pieces I never got from Destiny 1. Stupid Oryx raid was so long.
Dude, Kingsfall was awesome.
I needed 1 helmet for my hunter, arms for my warlock.
You never
my
got
knight.
them.
I never got
Really?
them.
He's
Well,
still grinding.
Wow.
I had full sets from the original launch, but I never got full sets from when they added the new armor.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, just since you're here, Jake, like on that, like what is your perspective on the whole Endgame stuff? I mean, it seems like you're in the same boat. I see you play Fortnite and stuff a lot. And
Have
like,
you made friends?
Yeah.
Have I made friends? What? Through
From
the
the Endgame.
Yeah. I honestly have not. No.
Yeah. But you already have a lot of Destiny friends.
So, I mean, my opinion on it is it kind of ties back to what we were talking about with Ranked in Crucible. The idea that they just need to incentivize things better. If they do that, it's going to make their game so much better. Because I kind of feel for them in a way, Bungie, when I say them, in that in Destiny 1, it was so hard to get level 30, and people were so
Talking
upset.
vanilla.
I'm talking about, very beginning, year one.
Need those
you know,
arms.
Right, exactly.
29.
People grinding for very specific things and not getting it. But the idea was you had to play every week in order to get this, and you had to do the raid on every character. And I think they got so many complaints from that system of people who were like, I'm tired of doing this for so much and not getting the reward, that they took a step back and made it so like, well, you don't even need to do it anymore. You all get basically nothing anyway, and it's really easy to get to the max power. So they kind of stepped too far back from that system they had in Destiny 1.
And also, all the weapons feel fairly normalized. There was the Mitigate for Destiny 2's launch, which I don't necessarily agree with, but they just basically give that to you for doing a quest line.
Yep.
Right.
It's fairly easy to acquire. I don't think there's any Galahorn in Destiny 2. There's no
there's not.
coveted item at all.
Yeah.
So even less incentivization. Do the raid again. Even the raid weapons, they don't even have unique perks. I don't think, right?
There's a couple-
Nothing
Snapshot
for
on the
nothing
sniper.
for the raid. That was a change.
Nothing like or you take down oracles faster. There's no perk that I think helps.
Yeah,
you
and
with a
that's just
specific
kind of
thing in
like,
raid.
all right, it's strange.
Yeah. It's funny. Like the more I think about it, it's like when in Destiny the first few years, like we were all like struggling to come up with the ranks and sort of win things, and in a way, like you're trying to win the big jackpot, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
But then you jump to like Destiny 2, and like everybody's just rich. I mean, we're all just rich, and it's like you hit that point where you're like, I don't know if there's no specialty, and so it becomes a little dishwater in that sense. Although that doesn't look at the weapon balance, which is a different problem where, there's no same thing that's special. Like, man, you need to use Merciless.
Yeah.
Like you've kind of wanted to use it, I would say, but you don't have to.
Origin story might.
There's just no
kind of
drops.
A few weapons, better devils for some people.
Sweet Business, I still stand by as an awesome drop to get. Some people
PvE or PvP?
PvE, I mean, don't
Actually,
consider it.
PvP too.
You like it in PvP?
No,
Awesome.
I hate it. But
Oh,
people,
okay.
people who use it, they spin it up before they start shooting.
Yes,
you.
the
And
pre-fire.
They turn the corner and you're already dying before you can do anything.
It's that, and so I want a whole team of Sweet Business Cold Heart, and they're just constantly pre-firing lasers and Sweet Business around every corner. But
just like a light show
Yeah.
every time you do an encounter.
But I was really happy that it seemed to me that Christopher Barrett and the team,
He's a good guy.
they got to the point where they're like, guys, I want to say what we're working on, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what it is yet. So, like to your earlier point, it's like, I don't know what to be excited about, but I'm just happy that you're talking about it.
Sure.
This
You
kind
know,
of transparency. Like I quote tweeted him. I'm like, I am so glad that you're able to talk openly about this. Just like, hey, we're working on this stuff and we hear you. And that's what the community was like clamoring for a week or two ago.
Well, that big
And-
list. Like that's what he tweeted out probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and like a bunch of people replied. And of course, ranked matchmaking. That was one of the things
Yeah,
that I put
definitely.
there, and I was like,
But
not yet.
But I want to point out something, and this is where the bureaucracy like comes in. You're like, well, why is it so hard? Read through the key words that they have in here: new, better, blah blah blah. There's no fixing. Nothing's broken, and sort of meaning that's what gets hard on the corporate level. I'm pretty sure that's what keeps them
Fixing
from
the broken systems and rewards to give our most
it doesn't say that,
hardcore
right?
players additional.
Yeah, you're
optimal-
translating it. But that meaning, I mean, Destin, you know how it works. This probably went through like 3 people at least, and they changed the words. And so my only point there was it's not as easy as you think. I mean, I'm sure Christopher Barrett and the whole team would love to talk about this stuff, but it's a pretty big filter.
Our incentives for Nightfall and Raids suck. Let's make them better. Translation: better incentives for players who compete.
Well, all right, let's not tear them down for like thankfully.
there was a bracket one, yeah.
What do you guys think the real system was?
Currency, legendary shards. We're looking at you. It's like, what are we doing with those? There is not taking enough of them. So,
all good. But I'm
let's-
excited.
Let's move on to PC. Unless anybody had some final thoughts, I think we're kind of wrapped.
no, the main thing I
happy.
do appreciate some of the Crucible tuning things.
Yeah.
Those are nice because some of the matches and going to point.
I don't know. It's funny. Like I mean, you're the host, Destin. You can decide to move on. I feel like there's a lot you could speculate on still.
We could
Like,
dive in, but we have a whole new platform
right,
that just
fine.
launched, and I really, really am excited to talk about PC.
I'm
We're all
excited
playing
too,
on
so
PC, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Dear God, it looks so good. I turned that game on, and I can't believe
And feels
running
good.
at 200 frames. I took a 144 hertz monitor from work to borrow and see what it looked like. It's so crispy.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
What do you
It
guys
looks
think?
good.
I like it a little bit.
People are saying
feels
it feels
good.
good.
It does.
Yeah.
It
Feels
feels
good.
and looks good. Like
Yes.
there's no other way you can put it. Everybody agrees there. The game runs smooth. It's super enjoyable to mess around, whether it be in the Crucible or just out in the world doing public events. It is a much more enjoyable game on PC just because of how crisp and clean it is. So, yeah.
Fran, have you gotten to play much?
Oh yeah. I'm grinding
that
out my
gasoline.
Hunter. It's Rockstar energy drink, by the way. I'm tired. I was playing Super Mario Odyssey all night. And grinding Hunter on my PC before that. Anyway, I mean, look, we played the beta. I was already enamored with it on that. And it's just so beautiful and glassy and like it's amazing. But what I would love to hear more about from Jake since he's here, but CJ's been talking about it. He's like, it's a different game. It feels different. Like everything seems to be behaving different, and he plays with a controller.
Yeah.
And that's
What?
Yeah. I think we've established
okay.
this.
Blasphemy.
Exactly.
Witch hunt is on.
right.
Yeah.
How much are you getting your butt kicked?
No, I'm dominating.
Yeah.
I'm dominating with the
crazy.
controller. No, and the weird thing is like PvP to the point of, and I hate saying this because I'm a console guy. I was never, hey, it needs to be at 60 and all this stuff. It like console, going back to it, which I have, almost feels broken for PvP. And I like, again, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a 60 frame thing, if it's a the bloom thing or whatever, but like hand cannons with a controller, 60 frame, I can 4-tap shot with the garbage is hand cannons. So it's not a legendary thing. It's not having the best. It feels different.
What about have you ran the PC at 30 and how does that feel?
Yeah, so everybody's saying how VSync obviously introduces a little bit of latency. When you take the game and put it on PC at 30, at least on a controller, and I've used the Elite as well as PS4, it starts feeling bad again. So I don't know if it's...
You're saying
You feel like you're losing data for your skill set.
100%.
But you don't know if it's the VSync or the 30 because you have to use VSync to cap it or no?
Yes, because it
yeah.
needs to lock it at 30.
Yep.
So that's what I don't get. Because at first I thought, there's no bloom on the PC, right?
Not that I've seen. I don't think so.
Right. So, but I've heard that there's not been confirmation of this. So with the controller, I think there still could be, but I don't feel it. And I can hip fire with a controller like non-ADS, and it's fine at 60. I switched over to 30, hard time.
The crazy thing is, it's like, how does PvP feel so much different on PC than it does on console?
It just does. I don't understand it either. Like and again, you're playing a lot mouse and keyboard now, but haven't done that over the years. Do you feel like at a disadvantage playing with mouse and keyboard, knowing there's controller guys out there?
Right. It's an interesting question. I've talked about this a few times. I feel like the skill gap, or the skill ceiling, I should say, for mouse and keyboard is higher. Like those who are amazing with mouse and keyboard will beat those who are amazing with controller. But I kind of feel like in the middle, it doesn't really matter. Like you can be just as good with controller as you are mouse and keyboard as long as you're not like that top tier.
Yeah.
So if I were to play with a controller and face somebody who's top of the line with mouse and keyboard, I'd probably lose to them. But I do think that I'm better on PC if I were to use a controller. I'm trying to use mouse and keyboard to get used to it.
Me too.
Yeah, it's fun. It's more fun with mouse and keyboard.
It is.
It's rewarding. It's fun improving at something and feeling like, the time spent grinding is actually helping your
get better.
Yeah, exactly. Actually helping you improve in the game versus controller. I don't think any of us feel like shooting dregs is actually improving our skills with a controller.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that at close range, I can definitely tell when I'm playing at somebody, with mouse and keyboard because the way they move, the way they spin around if you're in a little engagement. Long range, I actually like the controller better. I feel it's like a little bit easier to kind of lock onto people, at least like right now, like longer sight lines. There's been no MIDA yet in the PC.
Yeah. Well,
I've been doing
it
great
has
with
some
my
aim
Sim
assist.
4, so
Yeah, but it has a little aim assist on the controller,
does.
meaning especially in PvE at long range, especially you're going to get a little bit more of that snap. And on PC, it's more about you being in full control, right?
Yeah.
I'm more curious since you are quite good at PvP.
Thank you,
You
sir.
play a ton. I've seen and I've heard.
Yes.
I don't think I've had to run into you in the Crucible. Are you Xbox or?
Yeah, mainly
that's
Xbox,
why.
But I have everything now.
you backed
Oh, wait,
me
you're on
once,
PC
actually
now.
through trials in D1, like right near the end.
Yeah.
We finally got to play together. It was
That was
cool.
fun.
Yeah, I shot a wall.
Nice.
Got
Good.
a few
Good
kills.
carry, Jake. But what about this feel conversation? Do you think that it maybe is just 30 or 60? Are you feeling these types of differences?
No, so I can kind of explain the differences. So on console, there's aim assists, and with guns like Better Devils and some hand cannons, there's very little aim assist, and with guns like Uriel's, there's a ton. So on console, it seems like Uriel's is so much better than hand cannons.
Yeah.
Whereas on PC, there's no aim assist at all for anybody. I mean, unless you use a controller, which kind of changes up the conversation a bit. But you take away that aim assist, and it's just the gun at its raw ability, no aim assist included, which is why it feels sort of like a different meta and a little bit of a different game. I mean, think, for example, the Night Stalker, which already is kind of not that good of a class. You shade step to go invis, right? You go invisible. On console, it's impossible to hit them because you've removed every source of aim assist on them. But on PC, when they go invis, there's already no aim assist on them. So invis has almost been nerfed a bit on PC compared to console just because of that difference in aim assist.
And you don't have to ADS on PC. You can just hip fire on a lot of the weapons.
That's also
That's
true,
true
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's true too. But the point I'm trying to drive home is that the game actually is different.
Yeah, the meta is different, right? But the controller conversation is the one that I find interesting because it has a little bit of aim assist, right? And I haven't played it.
I haven't either.
But
He's doing really well.
so maybe I need to try controller out more because you're saying it just feels so good as a controller, that is one-to-one with console. Then from there, You have frame rate and sort of animation question. There's more animation on 60 and so on. The other thing I brought up, by the way, was we were on a different server platform and ping platform, etc. I mean, technically, it's similar, but like you're on PCs. Everybody's on PCs, and the way maybe that the server tech and the lag and stuff is working, maybe there's some like millisecond differences that are making it feel better.
Yeah, I mean, the part that really confuses me is that, and I've been trying to quantify why this is happening. I go back to Destiny 1, and it's not an issue. So again, a 30-frame game there, no problem. What's the reasoning behind
really interesting
when I switch to 30 on PC with a controller, it doesn't feel good, but at 60, it feels good, at least in PvP. And for me, I've been saying this a lot, like, I don't notice it in PvE. I really notice it in PvP.
Well, another thing that's helping your skill set is that you can adjust your field of view, so you're getting more data there. The frame rate helps. You're playing 60 or above. Then if you're at 144 hertz or whatever, too, like there's so many things that are going to give you more data for every encounter on PC versus on console.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's because, were you having, like, my issue is, and I've said this, and I don't know if it's a meta thing or the way it feels, but I mean, at 30 on the console, were you having fun playing PvP? Because I mean, I was trying, and I actually, like, I haven't said this very often, PvP was not fun, regardless of what the meta was. I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, and honestly, I wasn't either. I'm going to be honest again. I don't think PC is really fixing that for me, and I can get more into that in a bit. But the idea of what Crucible is now, they've taken the excitement factor out of it. You know, making it so team shot oriented. They've made it so there isn't that ability to step up and do something incredible. When you have your super or when you get power ammo, that ability is a little bit more there. You know, maybe you can pull off an amazing triple snipe and impress everybody. Maybe you can go in and slam 3 or 4 people and feel like you're the man, you know, but otherwise it's just like you roam around with your team, you put 1 or 2 Midas shots into someone else finishes off the kill, you get credit for it, and it's like, that's it. You did the job, you know? In Destiny 1, I never got bored of Crucible. I would stream it for 12 hours at a time. No one ever got bored of watching. Destiny 2, I get bored, viewers get bored. And I think the main reason is because of that excitement factor. You know, in D1, anything could happen at any time. You could
be the last player, you know, do a team wipe. You had an opportunity to do that. That rarely happens just because of the team shot.
It's impossible unless you have power or a super, realistically. Unless you're facing such a bad team that they all split off and kind of roam around aimlessly. You can find them all one at a time, but that just doesn't happen.
What's your perspective on the time to kill is longer in Destiny 2.
Right.
So why wasn't team shotting a problem in Destiny 1 then? Because in theory, right, team shots are worse even.
Yeah.
Is it because they've now encouraged people to do it and it's only 4s, or like, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. It is because it's longer, for sure, but it also is because you don't have these one-hits anymore. Like, you do have it in power ammo, but when you had the ability to run around with shotguns or snipers or fusion rifles, or even, unfortunately, I hated them, but sticky grenades, the ability to run around the map, and if you encountered somebody, you could instantly kill them instead of spend a full 2 seconds getting in an engagement that left you one shot and their whole team turned on you because you heard the fight.
You had a larger toolkit in Destiny 1, weapon and ability-wise, I think.
And power-wise. You just have more powerful tools with you as well.
No shoulder charge. That's not a one-hit kill. No sticky grenades.
Triggering so much. Stickies and shoulder charges, although they fixed shoulder charges.
But this does bring up a lot of people who I think cater to one or the other. I agree with you. I like Destiny 1 for what that is, and I think that's what people are saying. You know, what's the better of 2 evils? The team shot, you know, problem, or getting stuck in the face 50 million times? And honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. I kind of would take getting stuck in the face in a way, only because
you had the other power.
Well, to me, it's like the team shot thing is just not that fun. And I don't know, it's not good or bad. That's where I say the fun word. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. I played Trials again. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. I played Trials again, like Jake, for 2 years. Yeah, it was never about the loot. It was about that mode was fun, and it was fun to watch as well as play.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun and exciting, not only for you, but for anybody who might want to watch. It was just enjoyable because something amazing could happen at any moment. You know, imagine almost a 10 or 11-year-old playing Little League out in the outfield. They might not be very good, but the chance is they might make a diving catch one day. And now D2 is almost like, hey, no sprinting and no diving. So the incentive and excitement of like,
no running by the pool.
Right. But for real, it's like you were excited in D1 that something really cool could happen. And people were on the edge of their seat while watching because they know at any moment something cool can happen. But you look at an outfielder out there who can't sprint and can't dive, no one's going to be excited to watch that. No one's going to be excited to even be standing out there because they're like, what's going to happen? Why am I even here?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like going into PUBG and only being able to use a pistol.
Yeah, it really
Similar.
Yeah. It seems they have so many changes they need to make. Like, it does not seem like, yeah, we tweaked time to kill, right? That's not it. I mean, it seems like across the board, it needs a big overhaul. Do you guys feel that way, or do you feel like slight tweaks would change it?
I mainly do feel that way. I mean, I think it needs hopefully it needs two things, but it absolutely needs one of them. And I'll get into what those are. It either needs that excitement factor that I was mentioning, or a better incentive. No one's going to want to play Crucible if it's not exciting and if there's no reason to play it.
Right.
If they make it so there's amazing loot in it, you know, an actual reason to grind it, even if it's not like super exciting, people will still do it. There's some good feeling about grinding something that feels rewarding.
Yeah.
So if they do that,
But that only lasts so long. So I mean, like, it's funny hearing you say it. For now, I think you're willing to accept, okay, if there's more loot.
That's true.
I would do it. But eventually you're going to hit the point where you're like, no, it's just not fun enough for me. So I would think that's the thing you want to fix, right?
They need to revert
Absolutely.
more to a Destiny 1 system, in my opinion. Like, this system just isn't working. They tried it. I'm okay with the power animal slot, sort of, but like, they need to loosen up the rules a little bit.
It is. It's
Share.
funny. Yeah, it's funny you said lesser of two evils, because I definitely want some of that magic back that you're talking about. But I like that snipers are not out of the gate. I mean, they sort of fixed that with the special ammo boxes in Destiny 1 a little bit, but then Icebreaker was there. And anyway, meaning I hate getting sniped across the map immediately. It's really annoying, especially with people who are really good. It just drives me nuts that I can't go up against that. But they just need to fix so much.
One person gets heavy ammo. It's just kind of like even it out for the team.
There's a lot of
other people to do.
But when I look at that and the history of what Bungie has done, I don't think we've seen them make big overhauls. Like they changed the special ammo box, or they changed shotguns. We haven't seen them up against a problem like this. Can they fix it by December?
Well, not only that.
I'm making up December because I think that's when
2018 for private matches. They're not fixing that by December.
I know, but think about that. Like, if season 2's coming out, I'm assuming it's in December, by the way, because we have one more Iron Banner left, and they said Osiris is in winter of 2017. So unless it gets delayed, you'd think the season would hit right before then. And Dawning is always before Christmas and the holidays.
We've been focusing a lot on PvP. There are two small things I wanted to bring up about just the general feel of the game on PC, and that's, how do you guys feel about how much you're restricted with what you're able to do? Because you're a streamer, I stream, Fran streams. It's a little annoying that I have to alt-tab out and the game's just gone. Like, I can't use game capture. The banning thing that happened last week.
Yeah.
A lot of people, that was sort of fixed, it seems like. Or at least
there's a few erroneous bans. It didn't seem like drastic. They did seem unfortunate, and that would piss me off if it happened to me. I'd be losing my head over it.
And then the other small thing I want to comment on is Duggan was totally right about chat. It's absolutely ridiculous that there's no general chat. In a game like this, where I want to make friends with a guy in the tower and be like, hey, do you want to go run the Nightfall? There's so many stories from Destiny 1 where, like, hey, we ran with randoms from the tower. We would just message them, and we would take them on this adventure. We'd learn about them. And, like, there's this guy who never did the Nightfall, and, like, we took him on the run. And I feel like we're missing out on those stories because of the restrictions on PC, and that's sad. It's sad that we're not going to get those.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
No arguments on that one.
Destin was right.
Pretty easy on that. Cool. Duggan was right.
Yeah.
Way to, ride on his camera.
It's taken away.
Don't worry. That's what all the comments were going to say anyways.
Yeah.
This Duggan guy.
PC Doug.
Right.
So season 2 means that some stuff is going away, but new things are being implemented, new armor sets and such. They brought it up again in the weekly update this week. Fran, you were actually at the panel. You can discuss a little bit. We had a conversation about it. I don't like this because some stuff's going away, and we've had such a short window to acquire them. Fran, why don't you tell us more?
Yeah, I will try to recap the most important points, but you really got to read through all the details or listen through the long stream that they did. The main stuff was, first of all, they are fixing Iron Banner in the near term in the sense that you'll be able to buy stuff with legendary shards. Yeah. They'll have a couple weapons up. I don't know if that solves for like random drops or anything, by the way, because it brings up the question, if you're selling a few of the weapons,
why do I want tokens?
But we only have one more banner in season 1, and those weapons, by the way, seemingly are going away. How am I going to get all the weapons if you're only selling me a couple? So anyway, questions to be answered, but I'm glad that you're going to be able to buy some stuff, like my Titan helmet, which I'm trying to get. Hopefully I can just go buy it on the next round.
I really hope so, because I have 3 characters I have to get an armor set on, and some people turned in like
Oh.
50 things
packages
and
or
never
something,
got
yeah.
a full set. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you get a full set in the last banner?
I didn't even go for it.
You didn't even. You weren't
right?
into it.
It
yeah.
wasn't a big enough incentive for me. I played it, but the grind of getting like a full armor set wasn't enough for me to want to do it.
That's what I
You
felt
hit
too.
10 though, right?
Yeah, I hit
You
10.
just-
I hit 10. I hit like 14 or something. I got a few weapons or so that I really wanted to get to try out. And that was about all I needed to do.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I'm like, well, I'll have a year to get the full set. Nope, apparently not. There's one more, and that's it.
Yeah. So that's part of where this is going.
Kiosks.
So the idea of seasons, again, as reminders, if you all didn't catch it, we're in season 1 right now, and there's a couple things that define seasons. There are the events, such as
We didn't get one in
like,
season 1.
sorry, yes, I'm blanking because the Dawning is an event, and in season 1. Festival of the Lost would be one, and apparently that's not happening. Clearly, we were not ready for seasons, by the way. But with season 2, we will get the Dawning. Rituals such as Iron Banner are part of seasons, and they're going to introduce something called Clarion Calls, which is sort of double XP, experiences where you go after events. And basically, you have items such as the 6-shooter emote, the ramen emote, exclusive ships that are exotics. I know that much. They were basically saying will not be in season 2. So you're met with this like cool factor where you're like, if you got the ramen emote, it's like, awesome, I was there. How do I get that? Sorry, you can't right now. Maybe they'll.
That's weird. I feel like they'll do something like when the masks came back from the Festival of the Lost, I think, or whatever the Halloween one was called.
But that might be years apart. I mean, we don't know if they'll have special moments where maybe you can get it again. But that's what's happening.
Yeah, they did that in Trials as well. They released like the middle of the year 2, later on at the end of year 3, like once you got into the loot pool there.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the basic idea is get your stuff now, and season 2 is coming. We don't have a date, but it will include the Dawning. That's why, reasonably, it's coming in December because it would normally be before the holidays. So stuff like that's happening, and they're adding a few other things in season 2. New armor sets. Iron Banner gets all new armor sets, new weapons from what we understand. Dawning will have its own gear set. You will also get new Trials gear, I believe, is the idea. And they're adding ornaments to that stuff. So you'll get ornaments
are
now.
such an improvement because the aura, I'm just kind of like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
and
good.
this is where I think they're listening and they're trying to fix. Now, it's not. It is a vanity play, but you'll have to do a certain thing to get the ornament. So whatever, win 10 Iron Banner matches, or maybe get whatever some achievement with your supers or whatever it is.
Open a clan Engram.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
I got the full set. How'd you do it? Oh, I didn't do anything.
So that's where a lot of this is going. The general recap, though, was people walked out like, I really would love to have that gear. I don't know how I feel about some of it going away, but they basically were like,
sure it's going away because that seems absolutely crazy.
here's
Sounds
the
like it,
specific example, which is what leads to the speculation on the rest of the exotic things. They said, 6-shooter, that's going away. So the 6-shooter mode's going away. Right. But wait, everybody basically was like, what? And then they're like, hold on. And then they're like, boot it up. Then they showed exotic mic drop, which was really cool. It's like this sparkly mic that you drop on the ground.
But why would they get rid of 6-shooter to add another cool emote? What's the reason?
It's double-edged sword there, right? You've got one side, which is it's exclusive. I was there. On the other side, unfortunately, if you didn't get it, you're screwed.
They're like magicians, like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, and over here.
Yeah, it's part of it.
But
But I mean,
behind the curtain, there's a tiger.
but I think you have to. Well, why don't we just talk about that fact? So, if you have that feeling of exclusivity, like I was there, how do you feel about that versus just wanting to get new stuff? Like, do you really just want the catalog to keep growing?
Stuff going
they
away,
make kiosks.
right? Stuff going away without a vault or a bigger kiosk, 100%. I mean, we didn't talk about that. I mean, I was hoping your duplicate.
How the hell is the vault still an issue for real?
That's
for real.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So that if stuff's retiring and there's no kiosk or bigger vault, that's a problem because I'm like a hoarder collector guy too.
Yeah.
And that's that
You shouldn't have to get rid of it. Hopefully,
No,
But
but
the vault's going to be a huge
Are
problem.
we saying that things other than cosmetics are going to be retiring? Like armor, I guess is honestly cosmetic too, but like weapons for Iron Banner? Are you
Potentially.
saying those
Yeah.
are going to
That's
be...
what
They
sounded
seem to
like.
be saying that the current weapons, like whatever, steady hand or what's some of the good weapons in Iron
You
Banner?
remember Destiny Year 1 when it was like Vanquisher, Vanquisher 7, Vanquisher 8?
Yeah,
from the
absolutely.
New
And
Monarchy,
Trials,
I believe?
Messenger, like I love
Right,
Messenger.
right.
That went away.
That stuff went
Couldn't get
away.
infused.
It is
And we had
exactly that
Palindrome meta
concept.
near the end.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
I like
And
that concept.
sucks.
Yeah, current
I
set
actually
of
like it a lot.
Yeah,
Really?
I
You do.
like it, but I don't feel like they gave us a good investment system to obtain that armor.
Right.
So it's just kind of crappy for us because, so you made a bad investment system so I could never get the armor and now it's being taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I don't like it.
I get that argument, but at the same time, how many people are actually going to be able to play so much that they can acquire absolutely everything? And what I mean by saying that is I think they're kind of trying to make it so there's some excitement, and I like this idea of trying to cause some kind of unique, exciting incentive in any way whatsoever. I think they're trying to create excitement in having you not have everything. Almost like, hey, I have this thing from Iron Banner. Like, darn, I really wanted that. I have this thing. And like 2 years from now, you're looking back at Iron Banner year 1. Like, which cool thing did you get to take from that?
Here's how that conversation will go for me. Hey, I have the full Iron Banner set. Yeah, man, I really wanted that. But do you remember how broken the system was back in the day?
Okay, but they're working on fixing it.
That's good.
It literally is. Yeah,
of course, that's good. It just sucks that I can't. I love the Iron Banner arm set. I want to get it. I probably will not be able to.
Sure, but
it's not because I can't invest enough.
And I get that. I agree with you on principle on that. But I think we can also agree we thought Fellwinter's Lie was an awesome shotgun in the first Iron Banner, and it went away. And we moved on. And if you had it, that was pretty awesome. Right. So I actually appreciate I appreciate that idea, actually. I like the idea that I might get something that is exclusive. I'm worried that the systems aren't in place, though, to make it seem fair.
Yeah.
Something I do want to mention, and I would love your take on this, Jake. We were talking early on about power level increase. Now, there's a nice thing thinking about this where if I had the Messenger, say, which never got upgraded in year 2+,
right? Now
that there's no power meter in Iron Banner or Trials, it's nice that won't be an issue. Do you like that?
Oh man, it's so I'm so iffy on whether or not I like this. I don't. I'd say that's where I would lean if I had to decide, because that was so much of the reason there was a grind and there was an incentive in D1 was when, I'm in Trials at 326 and this guy who's 335 over here seems like he's dealing a little bit more damage, and it's just enough to not really matter, but to really make you want to be able to do it. So everybody's trying to get the exact guns that they really want to be using up to 335 or 400 or whatever.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, not only is there only one roll, but once you get it, you have it, and it doesn't matter what power it is. It could be 262. It's like, got the better devils. I don't need to infuse it ever. I don't need to save up better hand cannons. I just get to use it with its one roll, and it's done. I have no reason to really be grinding anymore. I got the gun I want.
Yeah. Which hopefully the mod system addresses, because I think that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then aren't we just going to be chasing mods?
Yeah, sure.
Probably. But that's better than nothing.
Chasing something, let us chase
We asked
something.
for that on this show, to be fair.
No, that's true. Like a better mod system. I wonder, what if they allow you to equip 3 mods on everything?
Yeah. Or even have the ability to stack if you have a certain armor set or something like that.
Yeah. So that would introduce some really, really interesting endgame concepts that I think all of us would like a lot.
There's something else that's going to be going on that I forgot to mention as another interesting reminder of something they're trying, and even this blows my mind because the vault, we can't get into the vault thing here because it's such a disaster. But listen,
disaster, that's a good way. To put
it. They want to basically also have duplicates of the weapons, so you can equip it in the energy and the kinetic slot. So take.
When did they say this?
They said this in the panel.
Okay, so this is what we missed if we didn't see the.
Yes, so this is why you should go through. There's a lot of interesting stuff, and we tried to recap it in a piece we did. It really is a lot of info.
You can watch it, right?
You can watch it. But anyway, in there they have the idea that it's like, well, I'm gonna get 2 versions. I guess you chase both of them of this Iron Banner weapon, so it kind of allows you to equip it in your energy slot versus kinetic. I like the concept that, by the way, good, I got steady hand. I like that hand cannon from Iron Banner. It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what? I want to use the raid auto in my kinetic slot. So I can't have that combo. So I like the concept that I'm like, I have my energy version of the very same weapon, and now I can recreate that kinetic energy thing. But it really shows you what's going on, that they're like, we've got these cool weapons, but you can't use them sometimes because of the weird slotting now. right? You can't just put it in either slot.
Well, not only that, that's what confused me initially about that is that you have pulse rifles and hand cannons. Which slot am I using? What, like, even when you're playing the game and actually changing between them, I always found it a little bit confusing, actually.
It's just like you're like, oh, I have the energy one on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
And playing on PC, now that I'm using mouse roll, I finally got the feel for it, but I would run into that issue again.
Yeah, I do. I'll be honest. I feel crazy having said this a few times now because I'm like, it seems crazy to think there'd be two versions, like Adept and regular, of the same gun, which is the concept, I think, and one's for your energy slot and one's regular. And I'm just like, I don't even know where to find it and put that. Like, wouldn't it just be easier that if I get a gun, I can put it in either slot? Like, of certain things, maybe certain guns that allow you to do that. Like, does that really break the game?
Maybe it's part of the mod system. Like, you just put the kinetic mod on it as opposed to the
There you go.
Maybe.
mod.
And that's what I
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant, by the way, is like as you move it over, it would become the energy weapon version in that slot. But like, why do I have to have two versions of the same thing? You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Double
So we didn't get-
origin stories. That's why.
And to be fair, again, this was all very fast, quickly delivered. Maybe it doesn't work quite how it sounded. We didn't get to interview them afterwards. So if I am Bungie misleading anyone, please let's jump in the comments and talk about
Come
how
on
this is
the
going to work.
show.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Definitely. Guys, we've been running a little bit long, but Jake, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, are we done? I got so much more to say, man.
I
Yeah.
know. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a ton more that we could talk about. But yeah, I think we kind of need to wrap it up.
Got to have him back on the show.
what
Yeah,
specifically,
definitely.
really
Where-
quickly, yeah.
Yeah, I do want to hear what you have to say.
All right, two very quick.
There we go.
One, I honestly think that exotics just need to be better. You know how often I'm running with no exotics? I have Antiope, Uriels, and a sniper from Trials, and it's like, make it so these exotics that we're trying to get actually are exotic and really cool and unique and powerful so that we can use them. That's one thing.
100% agree.
I'm glad you do.
100%.
And two, and maybe this isn't the best way to wrap it up, but I kind of do think that Destiny 2 is a little bit broken right now. I don't think it's really anywhere near as fun as Destiny 1 was. And I think this PC version is kind of just putting pretty paint on a broken wall. You know, like it's really pretty and fun to play, but I think those core issues that we've been discussing this whole show really need to get fixed.
Totally agree.
And need to be improved in order to make it so that PC version is actually really worthwhile and lasts a long time.
No, I mean, you sound totally correct because all the problem is when you get towards that end game, and we're going to encounter that on PC. Yeah, we're doing the climb right now, so we're getting all the good stuff. We're excited about drops still for now. Like, oh, I got my better devils. I'm good. You know, but we're going to run into the same problems we did on console with the investment game, with your vault space being limited.
Yeah, what to
stuff like
chase,
that.
exotics not being special, like you said.
Yep.
But it's funny, I had this exact conversation with CJ, who's like, oh my God, it feels so much better. I said, well, you know, the honeymoon is on right now.
I know,
You're
that's
not even like level 305 yet. You haven't gotten past this little honeymoon phase. So, but I'm optimistic that maybe PvP feels a little better and the meta might be better, that at least there's some replayability, but we don't know that yet to that point.
Yeah.
So
it's really going to be
lots to find
interesting
out.
to see what happens with the player base with Assassin's Creed, Super Mario Odyssey, Wolfenstein, South Park out right now.
even like
All
Fortnite,
these
PUBG,
big games. We
all
have
that.
PUBG on the way. We got the X on the way. We have Call of Duty on the way. Like,
Yeah.
I could keep going.
I know.
It's nuts right now.
But for that reason, I am glad because I mean, when Trials got canceled, I actually went and started playing Halo, and so
Hey,
for that,
good for you,
yeah,
dude.
for
Good
that
for you.
reason, you know, I was like, okay, Destiny 2 on PC came at the right time. At least PvP feels good. So from that standpoint, I'm a little bit more excited because yeah, I was having a really rough time playing PvP on console.
he's pretty depressed. You should see him
I was
day to day.
pretty depressed.
We should
On that
also-
note,
yeah.
it's time to wrap up the show.
We should, like, where can we find you, Jake? What about?
Oh, am I supposed to promote myself now?
Yeah, go for it.
Fantastic.
I'll put it in the lower third. At
Cool,
the
so I don't have to
beginning, too.
spell it out. If you're going to say the word grenadier like a very silly person, twitch.tv/GernaderJake. And it's the same on YouTube, Twitter. Everything is just GernaderJake. So put the Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is in front at GernaderJake. I stream mostly on the weekends. I do Trials help. It'd be better if some of the rewards that you get from Aspire were actually worth getting. Maybe people would be more enticed to play.
But you're there to help.
Yeah, but I'm there to just help get you there, you know, on PC, PS4, Xbox, whatever it might be. That's kind of what I do. Have fun on the weekdays and get people flawless on the weekends.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Well, thank you, everybody. That's it for this show. But until next time, Guardians out. Congratulations. You defeated watching the episode. Like in Destiny, you get nothing. But you have a chance at rewards if you click subscribe. Maybe I'll learn how to talk. Or No, this one's subscribe.